Good evening, everybody, and welcome in here on the Buckeye Racing Network. I'm Tyler Bentley, and in the booth with me is Tim Henderson. Good evening, everyone. Tim, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing wonderful. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Getting ready for another fun week of racing here with the STRR guys running the IMCA style modifieds. Still in the middle of the practice session here. About 6 minutes left in the practice, and James Murphy's at the top of the charts with a 20.42 so far. And that is the brother to last week's winner, Jared Murphy. Found that out last week. But while we got... Go ahead.
I just want to say, look at the lines that everyone's using. Not one person is going out there. Or you got a couple people maybe, but everyone else is just going bottom feeding tonight.
Right. Yeah, it looks like the bottom part of the racetrack for sure definitely is where everybody's working. You see all the fluff up high, so that's where all the grip is at, and everybody's putting down their better times down on the bottom. But while we got a second here, I do want to pop up the points for everybody here that's on the stream, just so they can get an idea of what's going on. Points-wise, we are through 2 weeks. Lernerville was week 1, and Ryan Klinger was our winner there. And week 2 was Limaland, and Jared Murphy was our winner. But at the top of the board, Ryan Howard is still first, 73 points. Trevor Doyle is tied with him at 73 points. Third place is Matt Tagan at 64. Chris Cox is fourth in points with 62. Ryan Klinger is fifth. And Russell Duville is also fifth with 58 points. Jackson Johnstone is sitting at 56. David Moore in eighth with 54. Dana Burdick in ninth with 53. And A.J. Hunsinger rounds out our top 10 with 50. And on down through the list, some of the drivers have only raced in one of the 2 weeks so far, so their point totals are slightly lower than the guys that have been here both weeks up to this point. Man, I'm kind of excited to see how the race pans out tonight. You know, this is kind of a bigger track than where we've been the first 2 weeks with STRR. You know, we had Lernerville, Limaland. This one's a little bit flatter, a little bit wider, and a little bit longer. What do you think? What's your thoughts going into this Port Royal this evening, Tim?
Action. It's going to be a lot of action.
Yeah.
I think even more action than we've seen the last 2 weeks. Gonna have high speeds going into the turns, and you're gonna be sliding a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you there for sure. You know, these guys are gonna put on a heck of a show. I'm interested. You know, the first couple of weeks did have some cautions in the feature event, which, you know, to be expected. This is a newer league. These guys are getting a good feel for one another and figuring out what they can and can't do with their race cars in close battles like that. But I am really interested to see what type of racing Port Royal produces for us tonight. Checking out Gabe Griffin, on the track. I believe this is going to be Gabe's first week running with STRR. I don't remember seeing him in the first couple of weeks. Going out there. He's put in quite a few laps in practice, working his 24th, starting his 25th lap, so definitely getting some laps under his belt before we go into heat race action, because we can't forget there is no qualifying session here for these guys. They do have random draw heats, and they got to get in the top 4 of their heat race to move on. to the A feature tonight. Now 21 drivers are here, so I believe everyone would start, if I remember that correctly, on this, Tim. Isn't it about 24?
I believe it's 20. Is it 24?
I think
26.
it's somewhere in there. You know, we've been here a couple of weeks. You'd think we would know that by now, but it's easy to forget, I suppose. But as of right now, I believe everybody that's in the lobby tonight will run in the feature. A couple of blinks there for Jared Murphy. He gets into the outside wall. Check out another guy, AJ Hunsinger. He's had some good runs, but he's had some bad luck the first couple of races with getting in incidences. So let's see if he can right that ship tonight. Maybe get a top 5 or so. We'll see as the night goes on. About 30 seconds left of your practice. You keeping your eye on anybody tonight?
Am I? You always got to pick someone to win.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna go and throw my money all in on the number 31 of AJ Hunsinger.
Wow.
He's been quick all season.
Right, I know. I just mentioned some bad luck, but he has had good race cars week in, week out up to this point. And James,
Let's see if I can do the opposite of the commentary curse.
Let's hope so. Let's check out the grid here. Remember, this was a random draw. First heat race. Starting on the pole. In this heat's going to be Jackson Johnstone, and to his outside is going to be Ryan Howard. Row number 2, on the inside, Jared Murphy and Matt Tagan on his outside. Row number 3 is going to be Lee Penny on the inside and Trevor Doyle on the outside. Row number 4, going to be Colton Gum and Blake DePinette. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Sorry if I'm not. And row number 5 is going to be David Moore and Dusty Roberts. All right. Field starting to roll off the line here for a couple laps of pacing, and then we're going to get this first heat underway. 8 laps the distance for these fellas. Top 4 to the feature, everybody else to the B main. Which may be skipped tonight. Like I said, we only have 20 drivers, and 10 of them are going to be in this first heat, so it looks like maybe only 2 heats tonight too, Tim.
Would it still be 4 going?
They might just transfer all. I'm curious to see how it'll work out. We're going to find out as the evening progresses along, for sure. One more time around pacing for these guys, and we're going to turn them loose here in heat number 1.
So who are you putting your money on tonight, Bentley?
You know, I was thinking about Hunsinger myself, you know, because he's been quick week in and week out. But I'm going to go with one of the Murphys. They were really strong last week. I think they can carry that momentum right on through to this week here at Port Royal.
We'll see.
In the hands of Jackson Johnstone as they head into the restart zone here. Green flag is out in heat number 1 here tonight at Port Royal. Into turn 1. Around the outside goes Ryan Howard, taking the lead through turns 1 and 2. Johnstone back into second. Murphy there in third. Oh, really onto the inside for Murphy. Looking for second entering turn 3, and he may have it. One up into the wall back there. That's the 83, I believe, of Lee Penny. He gathers it back in and continues on. Murphy does take second. Johnstone slides back to third. The battle is on for fourth. Matt Tagan and Dusty Roberts, and the caution comes out. First,
My scoring's messed up here. I'm sorry.
you're fine. Let's see if we can take a look at what happened here to bring out this yellow flag. Oh my, 3 wide. Going down into turn 1, Trevor Doyle, Dusty Roberts was 2 cars involved. Let's see as they go down into turn 1, and Doyle and Roberts really up on top of one another entering turn number 1. Doyle hard at the outside wall, and I think the front suspensions broke on that car, unfortunately. Not sure if he'll be able to continue on in this heat or not. May just have to move forward and go straight to the features tonight. All right, as we get back up towards the front of the field here, Ryan Howard, Jared Murphy, Jackson Johnstone, Matt Tagan is your top 4. Six to go. So I think it'll be about 6 or 7 to go in this heat race when we do get the green flag. A little bit longer pace laps tonight since we are at Port Royal and the track's a little longer. Definitely can see the slick spots that started here in the corners. Definitely down low, these drivers are going to be looking for the grip. So maybe the middle, and they might start pushing the cars up just a little bit higher in the corners as well. Should hopefully get the 1 to go signal here as we cross the line. And we do. Pace lights are out. So we are going to go back green here on this lap. Murphy was strong on the start. Jackson Johnstone slid back to 3rd. Let's see if he can get that car back up into 1st here once we get this thing restarted. If not, I expect a battle between Howard and Murphy here in the closing laps of this heat. Green flag back out, Howard back on the throttle, and we're back underway here in heat number 1.
What a launch.
Ooh, a little bit of a blink out for Howard as he entered turn 1, but he's back and all is good.
Some contact back there with David Moore.
Yeah, saw a little bit maybe with Johnstone too.
Colton.
Oh,
Colton slides it up in. Makes contact. Makes the pass.
Blake dependent down on the bottom. Moore struggling a little bit on the outside. That car was really out of shape through turns 1 and 2. And DePinette takes the spot. He's looking to catch Colton Gunn right in front of him. Dusty Roberts trying the inside on Matt Tagan. Don't look now. Murphy's trying the outside, trying to get a nose on the outside of Howard here for the lead. Not quite there yet. Everything's kind of single filed out.
He's gonna be there. He's gonna be there.
He's not gonna leave this battle just yet. He was really close entering turn 1. Look at the diamond out of turn number 2 to the inside. Moore is spinning in the background, and that does bring the caution out. Wow, that battle was just heating up. We'll double check exactly what happened, but man, how about the diamond move for Jared Murphy there in the center of 1 and 2 to cut that car down to the bottom, and what a rocket ship he had exiting to, because he was definitely the inside of Ryan Howard. Let's go back and take a look at this caution flag. And it does involve David Moore here. Let's see exactly what happened. Entered down low. The car got up into the fluff on the outside, and he just looped it around at the inside wall, unfortunately, and had to tow. So the heat may be over for Mr. Moore. Back up front, we'll see here in these closing laps of this first heat if Murphy can get another run like that, but that was getting really good here. Pace truck's peeling off. Field is in the hands of Ryan Howard. Does he go early? Does he go late? We're going to find out. Murphy's right behind him. Howard accelerates, and he's right there with him. Good start for everybody. Howard pulls away just a little bit through 1 and 2.
Dusty Roberts looking to the outside for what would be the transfer. Oh no.
The 313 around, that's Matt Tagan, and that is going to bring the caution out. Really close battling back there, and it does bring the caution out. Man, they were fighting for everything, and this does equate to a starting spot later on in the night, so every position does count. Let's get another quick peek at this. Working down the backstretch. The 23 of Dusty Roberts just drives in right underneath of Tagan and spins his car out. Unfortunate there. We probably could have stayed green, but they went ahead and threw the yellow anyways, let him get back going. I think Dusty Roberts had an issue stopping. He stopped there on the outside part of the racetrack, so. Still 3 to go here in this first heat. Pace truck's peeling off on the back. We're going to get the green flag here. The mind games have already begun on whether Howard's going to fire early or late in the restart zone. Creeping along, back on the gas. Good start for Howard. Back, looking to the inside back there for 4th. Blake Dependent on gum. He's still there, still to the inside. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd single file, but throw Jackson Johnstone in the miss. It's really a battle for 3rd, and a big slider by Dependent. Oh, they're making contact.
1, almost 2. He gets it, but he loses the spot.
White flag's out, and I tell you, the winner of that was Colton Gum. He moved right into 3rd from Johnstone and Dependent making contact. And Johnstone falling back, losing another spot to Matt Tagan here. So, pan back forward here real quick. Ryan Howard's going to hold off Jared Murphy. Colton Gum in 3rd, Blake Dependent 4th, Matt Tagan 5th, Jackson Johnstone 6th, Dusty Roberts 7th, Lee Penny 8th, David Moore 9th, and Trevor Doyle going to round out the first heat. Let's take a look at the grid here in heat number 2. Starting on the pole in this first heat, it's going to be Daniel Ruckman. To his outside is going to be Chris Cox. Row 2, Russell DeVille, Brennan Price. Row number 3, Gabe Griffin, Matt Smith. Row number 4, AJ Hunsinger, Matt Pridgeon. Row number 5 is going to be James Murphy and Alan Smith. All right, we were talking about Hunsinger earlier. He didn't get that good of a pill draw tonight. Starting at the back of this heat. Chris Cox did not grid, so he's sitting on the pit lane. Oh my goodness. I don't know who that is there. Brennan Price maybe? That's getting all out of shape through 3 and 4 there. Maybe scraping the outside wall. Kind of threw me for.
He's just trying to prep that track up there, it looks like.
Maybe. You know, we did see David Moore get up in that stuff, and his car just flat out spun getting up that high, so that could be the case. Pace truck is off. Field rolls by here into turn 3 in the hands of Daniel Ruckman. Green flag is out. Good launch for Ruckman out of turn 4. Price is going to have a good run on the outside, though, as they head into turn number 1. Big battle for third on the racetrack. Some contact. Everybody's through cleanly up to this point. Really tight battle.
Battling around the outside.
Oh, the 17. Russell DeVille struggling to enter on the bottom there into 3, and it's 3 and 4 wide back here right now. Oh my, more contact in the 31 in the outside wall. Matt Smith, hard contact. I think he's going to come to a stop, and that is going to bring out the yellow flag here.
I think I heard the engine pop.
Oh, that's very unfortunate. That's probably going to take him out of this heat. Let's go back. Take another look. I mean, that all started really exiting 4, and it carried on down the front stretch. And Matt Smith made contact with Russell DeVille, and his car just, it got it really out of shape, and he just couldn't turn getting into turn number 1 and went straight up into the outside wall. Heavy contact. Even the 5 of Gabe Griffin with a little bit of damage too from that. Unfortunate for Matt Smith.
Yeah, he made contact, and as soon as he made contact, that left front broke. And it broke in the worst way possible. And the worst spot.
Yeah, the steel outside wall, that right front just can't, you can't do much there. And it was heavy, and they're carrying quite a bit of speed down into turn number 1 as well. That was just a recipe for disaster. Looks like Chris Cox did end up making it onto the racetrack, as he is in front of our leader currently. Hunsinger is up to 4th in the heat. Keeping an eye on that. I believe this is Brennan Price's first race with STRR as well. I don't remember seeing him the first couple of weeks out.
Yeah, he's stealing the show from these boys.
Yeah, leading here in his first heat race of the season. Pace lights do go out. We're going to rack them up and get the restart here. Interested to see between Price, Ruckman, Hunsinger, and DeVille. We know DeVille was struggling on the bottom. See if he can right the ship here on this run. Matt Smith is leaving the pit lane, going to rejoin the field at the tail. Green flag back out, Price. Good jump out of turn number 4, leads him to the stripe. Battles on for second. Russell DeVille, big slider from the bottom to the top. And they're side by side for third. And
3 wide.
3 wide.
4 wide for a moment. Hunsinger's the loser in that exchange.
And then it's 3 wide, and there's Cox on the bottom. I know we just talked about him. He is a lap down currently. Oh, Hunsinger almost gets booted there into turn number 1. Alan Smith riding the outside part of the racetrack and had a pretty good run through turn 1 and 2. Oh, gets up over the cushion and bounces off the wall, but keeps the car going.
Oh, cars are tangled. 3 wide going into 1.
Wow, this is hectic back here. Hunsinger.
Someone's got a broken. Someone's broke.
I think it might be Alan Smith. You can see him struggling getting into turn 3 and 4. Double check what's going on up front real quick. The caution's not out. Price, Griffin, Murphy, your top 3. A little bit of a gap back to Pridgeon and then DeVille. Alan Smith did make it to the pit lane. DeVille and Smith with a little bit of contact there you saw out of turn 2. Coming to 2 to go already in this heat. Very fast heat. A lot of action though in 8 laps. You would never believe it, but there was a lot here. And the battle is on.
17 out wide. Oh no.
We went panned back up front, Tim. The battle was on. They were side by side for the race lead. I know the caution just came out. Matt,
We had a battle around the transfer spot as well at the same time.
let's take a look here and see exactly what happened.
Matt Smith, Chris Cox, and Russell were all involved, along with Hunsinger and there's one more, and Daniel Ruckman.
Yeah, Duville just got high, and then Cox and Smith made contact. Hunsinger had nowhere to go once the 31M machine got turned sideways, and the 40 ended up hitting Hunsinger trying to avoid it and broke his left front. You can see it there just on the left side of your screen, the way that tire was wobbling. So he's got damage to repair. Wow, that was crazy back there. I had just panned back up to the lead of Price, Murphy, and Griffin because they were battling for the heat victory here. Port Royal is providing some good racing. It's wide enough these cars can get 2 and 3 wide if everybody is minding their P's and Q's to have some racing. It still can get tight though exiting the corners as the cars are wanting to kind of pull to the right just a touch. Pace lights are out. We're going to go back green here. Ruckman, Price, Murphy. Or excuse me, I believe it is Price, Murphy, and Griffin, your top 3. Sorry about that. Single file into turns 3 and 4. Field in the hands of Brennan Price. Starting them on the top side of the racetrack here. Oh, they're bumping. Getting back to green. That's going to open the door for third, maybe as we get down into turn number 1. Hunsinger on the bottom.
Slides it in.
First, second, and third single file, and Hunsinger's looking to the inside there for 4th on the racetrack. Almost, not quite. Now he's got Cox on his outside with a run out of turn number 4. He's going to slide back a spot. James Murphy, white flag lap. What's he going to do here through 3 and 4? Looks like he's going to run the outside. Going to have a run out of the corner.
Going to get him. No, not enough.
But what a good try there for Murphy as we went through 3 and 4. Brendan Price, James Murphy, Gabe Griffin, Matt Pridgeon, A.J. Hunsinger, Matt Smith. The cars that finished. I think Cox and Alan Smith also finished. Ruckman and was on the pit lane. All right. No B main. We're going to go right into the warm-up session tonight.
It looks like everyone made it but one.
Everyone but one. For the feature race, these guys are going to go out, get some warm-up laps, try to run the track in a little bit more before we start the feature. Looks like the first car on the track is going to be Blake DeBonnette. And if anybody's out there watching, let us know who you're pulling for the feature coming up here shortly. And like always, we do appreciate everybody that's tuning in and watching. We always have a good time bringing the STRR events to you here live on the Buckeye Racing Network. And it looks like about everybody is on the track now, putting in some laps before the feature gets underway. Some of them looks like they're trying to run that top end just a little bit more. The track is getting slick though. You see just how dark it's getting in the corners.
Justin Law in the chat said, "Go Penny, 83."
All right. Good deal.
He is starting P15. Let's see if he can make his way up towards the front.
Yeah, let's hope so. Got to put a show on for his fan out there in the chat for sure. Yeah, you can see some of these guys are trying to work the top side of the speedway in. They're inching their way up there, trying to get it to come in. Doyle just went to the top of the boards with a 21.26. Bridgen just turned to 21.28. So again, you can see those times on the left-hand side of your screen are all pretty close amongst your top 5 to 7 cars.
I think that transition, it's all up on the high side now. I don't think that inside line's going to be worth anything.
Yeah, it looks like I don't see anybody working the inside part of the racetrack. It's all middle or high. You know, up here in Ohio where we're at, you know, it's cold outside and you get to watch these cars here on the iRacing simulation service running these dirt tracks, and it just brings back those summertime memories, and it's always fun to watch and bring these types of broadcasts to you guys watching at home. Especially during the colder months here in the northern part of the U.S. where it's pretty chilly and you don't get to watch these live. It's about the closest thing we get to live racing.
Only a couple more months.
Absolutely.
If that.
We're getting there. And these fellas here at STRR definitely help fill the void here. Get a quick peek at Doyle. I think he's just getting the ship right. He was creeping around the bottom, but not up at race speed, so. Blink deep in net. Definitely running the outside and hitting the wall just a touch here. Definitely trying to get the outside ran in. Really pushing that, trying to push the cushion up higher and higher. Big art in the outside wall. Whoa, look out, a little bit sideways. Well, Hunsinger just popped up to 4th on the speed charts with a 21.20. Deep in net did run a 20.97. A little bit quicker yet. And that brings a close to the warm-up session. Get the feature lineup here for you guys right now. All right. Here's our starting lineup for the A main here tonight. On row number 1 to the inside is going to be Ryan Howard and Brennan Price. Row number 2, Jared Murphy and James Murphy, the brothers. Row number 3 is going to be Colton Gum and Gabe Griffin. Row number 4, Blake Deepanet and Matt Pridgeon. Row 5, Matt Tigg and AJ Hunsinger. Row 6, Jackson Johnstone and Matt Smith. Row 7 is going to be Dusty Roberts and Chris Cox. Row 8, Lee Penny, Alan Smith. Row 9, David Moore, Daniel Ruckman. Row number 10, Trevor Doyle and Russell Duville. That's going to round out our starting lineup here tonight. And we're rolling here. Pacing for the feature race of 40 laps here around the Port Royal Speedway. Hunsinger's got a little bit of a hole to dig out starting back there in 10th. I know you had your eye on him earlier. And I said the Murphy brothers who's starting in row number 2. Let's see what they can do here in 40 laps. A lot can happen in 40 laps here at the half mile of Port Royal. 2 by 2 by 2, 10 rows deep. So, Tim, I know we were just talking about it, looking at that outside line being king. Do you think anybody has a chance to be fast on the bottom?
We'll have to see. Come ask me in about 5 laps, and I'll give you the answer.
All right. We'll see in 5 laps how it goes here in the hands of Ryan Howard. He's on the loud pedal and taking the green in the feature event here tonight at Port Royal. Out to the early lead. Murphy, I think that's Jared down on the low side of the speedway trying to make it happen. 3 wide right behind him. And early caution. Maybe towards the back of the field. I didn't see it live on the broadcast. Let's take a look and see exactly what happened.
I think there was 2 separate incidents.
Let's go back and see. We got 3 wide with Matt Tagg and Hunsinger there. Working out of turn number 2, and it looks like Tagan just drifted up ever so slightly out of 2, made contact with Hunsinger, and that shot up into, that's the 1 car, which is not the one on our timing and scoring. But Tagan just didn't get into turn 3, got sideways some more, and he had help from the 31M right there, spinning his car around in turn 3. I don't think anybody got any major damage from that, but that's going to allow us to re-rack them.
So I don't think that was what brought out the yellow, Bentley.
Really?
We have Trevor Doyle on the front stretch, made a little contact with David Moore, and he got out of shape, and then kind of drifted up. Lee Penny drifted up into Trevor Doyle, and they got stuck together.
Oh, wow. I didn't see that. Well, unfortunate for Doyle because he's still sitting on the pit lane. Or, no, he is out of pit lane, but scored a lap down currently. I don't think that's correct if he entered during this caution period. We'll see once the timing is scoring.
Yeah, he did. He had to go get repaired.
All right, 2 by 2 by 2. We're going to get another restart here. More craziness as they barrel down into turn 1 we're about to see. Howard waiting to get the restart, and that stacks him up big. No. And another problem, and I think that was Hunsinger back there that got the worst end of that.
It strikes again.
My, oh my. Yeah, I think the left front is broke on that machine. We're going to go back here and take one more look at that. We're looking at the 31 of Hunsinger here on the screen. And Howard waiting to go just stacked everybody up. He checked up, got hit from behind, and hit the inside concrete barrier hard, and I think broke the left front on that machine. Another unfortunate mishap for Hunsinger, 3 weeks in a row. Will he ever see the light of day here in STRR?
Certainly didn't help that I picked him.
Oh, you know, and this is what we talk about with the commentator's curse. Tim, you might have to hear it from Hunsinger after this week when he checks out the broadcast. He's probably going to be upset.
I wouldn't blame him.
Field waiting to pick up the pace truck going into turn 3 here. But Howard waiting to go. See, he had been going early on other restarts earlier in the night. And I think everybody was just expecting more of the same. And he decided to wait to accelerate for the green flag. And that threw everybody for a loop. And that's what caused that big stack up on the inside to cause the caution. Price and Howard switching lanes down the back. One to the inside, one to the outside. Brennan Price, I think, is going to bring him to the green unless Howard's going to restart him on the end. And he is going to accelerate first on the inside. Field back underway, and I know they're really close at the back of the field there. Murphy, you see him up high on the outside line trying to take advantage, get the run out of turn 2. Matt Pridgeon, that was earlier. He was working the real low side of the racetrack. I don't know if he's going to make up any ground, but he was really low down there through 3 and 4. Really close behind him with the Bennett and Murphy out of turn number 2 as we're working lap number 3 as my timing and scoring resets. Thank you. Back through the field, Roberts take it, Gum back here. Cox to the inside of Gum, and that's going to be for the 10th spot on the racetrack.
I don't even know where to look.
I know
there's action everywhere.
We do have action everywhere tonight, but that's a good thing. Oh, I think 3 wide and a little bit of contact towards the back, but everybody's right of the ship. Back up front, Price and Howard's really close, exiting turn 2. Battle for the lead is on. There is action everywhere. Oh, Price squeezed Howard exiting turn number 4. Howard almost hit into the concrete wall. I don't think he's going to be too awful happy with that. Whoa! On the outside, I think that was Lee Penny. Stopped right there in front of the leaders as they came in to turn 1 and 2. Let's go back and take a look at what happened. That was really close. Our leaders almost made heavy contact with Lee Penny there. Let's see what happened. Lee Penny and David Moore are back here.
I can't believe it's only lap 6.
I know. Oh my goodness. David Moore drove into turn number 1 and just cleaned out Lee Penny. I don't know if something broke on the front end of that machine or if that was intentional, but that did not look too good from Lee Penny's point of view. I don't know. It's hard to tell. What's your thoughts on it, Tim?
I can't say. I couldn't tell you.
That's pretty crazy.
Looks like around lap 2 there was an incident between the two of them, but it didn't look intentional and didn't look like it brought anything out.
Right, but that incident there, that just looked premeditated almost, but almost at the same time like something broke, but I just don't know. I can't say.
It's like he got loose getting underneath Lee Penny, and then it shot up the track and he just couldn't do anything. Yeah,
that was it just looked bad, you know, when you take a look at it and it just looks bad for both drivers involved. And they were towards the back of the field, I think, anyways, so to add insult to injury for both drivers as they're sitting on the pit lane.
This is our 1 to go, I believe.
Yes, pace lights are out on the truck. 2 by 2 by 2. In the hands of Brennan Price.
And Ryan Howard matched that restart.
Back underway, and Price with a big jump out of turn 4 and a nice gap entering turn 1. Gabe Griffin on the inside part of the speedway, looking to the inside of Ryan Howard. Oh, a little bit of contact exiting 2, and a plethora of cars. Throw them all under a blanket into turn 3 there, and the caution flag is back out again. My, oh my. Let's see what brings that yellow out. Looks like it towards the back of the field again. Matt Smith, oh, it happened right in front of him. The 40 car out of shape, trying to get the ship righted. Looks like he's still fine. Let's see, exiting turn 2, and he just gets into Trevor Doyle sliding up the racetrack. I don't even know if he saw Doyle on the outside or not, but he just let the car kind of drift up to the outside, and Doyle was there in heavy contact for both cars into the steel barrier down the backstretch. Doyle getting on his side down the back, so heavy, heavy damage to both of those machines. My, my, my. And ended up upside down, even Doyle did. Very unfortunate there. Craziness. It's so crazy. These restarts are very, very crazy here at Port Royal.
And for the people that are watching, these cars, you got to remember, these drivers don't have the rear view mirror. They don't have the rear view, so they cannot see the blind spots as well as they want to.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because, I mean, in that replay, it just showed he did not even, I don't think he knew that Doyle was on the outside, and he just exited the corner as if nobody was there, and it turned out really bad for both drivers involved. Single file restart here. The admins decided it's time to start single file because of the craziness on these double files. Back to green flag. Brendan Price. Gabe Griffin already looking to the inside into turn 1 for second place. A little bit of contact between Price and Howard. Field a little bit more strung out here on the single file. Murphy looking to the inside of Howard for third. And if he messes around too long, his brother's going to be right there, and it's going to be a 3-car battle for third position.
Oh, he chops him on the edge of the leader. Brennan Price and Gabe Griffin going at it right on that bottom.
Yeah, these drivers have kind of transitioned to running down there. It kind of covers from a driver entering a little lower and sticking his nose in when you're running that low on the racetrack. Getting some green flag laps underway here. This might turn into something really crazy. Price, Griffin, nose to tail. Murphy and Howard, third and fourth, right there together. And the other Murphy brother in fifth.
Gabe is just getting such a better entry into these turns.
And he's got his nose there on the inside. He just could not, he doesn't have the run out of the corner. Side by side through 1 and 2. Who's going to get out of turn number 2 the best?
I think he's just working them. He'll get them.
Oh, Price with
There
a little
it
bit of a
is.
mistake.
Contact.
Oh my. Gabe Griffin to the race lead here on lap 13. Don't look now, but Price is under fire from Jared Murphy. One car on the bottom of the speedway, that's Lee Penny. Looks like he's going to take it behind the wall. What a battle up front here for the lead at Port Royal. Just a little further back, I believe that was Dusty Roberts and Blake DePinette battling here for the 6th, 7th position. A little bit of contacts made. Howard and Murphy right ahead of them battling for position into turn 3. Action everywhere tonight. Ooh, I saw one slow on the outside. I think that was Colton Gum, and that is going to bring the caution out. I think he got hard into the outside retaining wall. We'll go back right now and take a look and see what we see. Kind of running alone on his own line, entering turn 3 on the bottom. Oh, he clipped the inside wall and broke the left front of the car and lost all steering capabilities once he got into turns 3 and 4. Very, very unfortunate. We'll go back and take just another quick peek, but you'll see, looking on the inside part of the speedway, you'll see the 25 get down into turn 3, trying to get the car set to run the inside, and he just clips the concrete barrier. And that breaks the left front of the car. You can see the way the wheels wobbling, and then he went straight into the outside wall. Heavy, heavy damage for Colton Gum. All right, let's get back up front to the leader here. Man, was that an exciting little run we just had.
Just wow.
Yeah, action everywhere.
I can't believe we've had this much action. And it's the beginning of the race. We still have over 50% of the race to go.
I know, and these drivers are giving it their all, and they're just putting a show on for us up here in the booth. Really enjoyed the racing here tonight. And still, a long ways to go, 25 laps. So plenty of more stuff to happen here tonight at Port Royal. Pace lights are out. Field's going to line up single file, nose to tail on the outside part of the racetrack. One long line of 20 cars. Griffin's gone and hit the gas, and in the middle of 3 and 4, we're back to green. Looking back through the field, I think that was around Tegan. Oh my goodness, big contact on the front stretch just after the green flag. Just on the restart there. I think we're going to have to go back and take a quick peek because these cars, one was upside down and over by the time I panned back. I just saw it at the back of the camera frame on the live shot from the leader, and that started around, looks like Chris Cox and Matt Tegan.
There was another incident further back as well with
What's crazy is you see these guys, the cars, they're getting going, but what happens is Cox gets going and turns his car down to the inside part of the track, gets a big run, and gets into, it looks like Tegan right here, out of turn 4. Yeah, just kind of runs him up the racetrack just a little bit. And he wasn't quite clear. Tegan clips his right rear. Look at there's another incident on behind with Hunsinger and Moore.
Yeah, Hunsinger, Moore, and
Alan Smith up and over for a wild ride down the front straight. Just after we get back to green flag. Wow, a lot of craziness happened back there.
Smith and Hunsinger made contact as well.
Let's go back and take a look at that. Smith and Hunsinger made contact in the middle of 3 and 4. Moore already had picked up the throttle, had plenty of momentum. He just drove right into the left rear of Hunsinger, it looks like, on that camera shot. Both of those cars sent up to the outside part of the racetrack. Hunsinger right front broke on his machine. Wow, a lot of craziness. A lot of craziness there. Pace lights are out on the pace truck. That was our 6th caution of this feature event. A lot of action under green and a lot of action for the cautions. I think that's just everybody trying to gauge whether or not to hit the gas or not on the restart. Drivers trying to get every little advantage they can over their competitors. Griffin accelerates. A little bit cleaner of a start for the guys up front. Looking on back at the back of the camera shot, everything looks pretty clean. Price, Howard, Jarrett, and James Murphy and rounds out your top 5. But Roberts, DePinette, and Pridgeon right there, all looking to get into the top 5 tonight. Price and Howard here out of turn 4, down the front stretch and into turn 1, side by side, fighting for the 2nd position. Oh, Price really gets into turn 3, and Howard was a little slower in the middle of the track, and Price almost dumped him and getting into turn 3.
What a save, though.
It was definitely quite a big save from Howard through 3 and 4 there to keep that car going straight.
Howard making a move.
Price up into the outside wall. Got to be careful doing that with the right front. Oh, Price.
I believe he's broken now.
Oh, and they're causing a stack up. Caution's out. Oh, Duville, the 40 with damage. Doyle barely missing out. Wow. Wow. And that all started because Price got into the outside wall. You'll see it here. Price gets into the outside wall. Out of turn number 4. He was up there in the fluff. Bounces off of the wall. The car shoots down. He keeps it off of the 04 of Howard. The car is turned directly right, hits the outside wall again just before the start-finish line. Everybody else carrying all that momentum out of turn number 4, trying to miss him. Not everybody was going to. There's DePinette. He gets clipped in the right rear, sends the car sideways. Dusty Roberts, I think that's in the 23. He's getting some damage. Russell Duville already carrying that momentum on the high side exit or entering turn 1. Price in the outside wall hard again. Chaos here on the 7th caution.
Yeah, you almost wonder if his car, if the right front broke on the first contact in the center of 3 and 4, because he could just not, he couldn't get it to turn down away from it after that.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like I said, you got to be careful when you're hitting the right side of these cars on that steel barrier wall, because it tends to hurt the right front really easily on these machines. And I think that's exactly what happened. He just probably lost control going down the front and was hoping for the best entering turn number 1. Quite a few cars sitting on pit lane there with damage repair, there's no doubt. Pace lights out one more time. Now Gabe Griffin's out front. He can kind of do what he wants as the leader. I think we're going to get another lap of caution here. I see the pace lights back on the pace truck, so I think we're going to get one more lap of caution. Don't know if somebody came and entered the track late.
Oh,
but
oh no. Little contact. I'm not sure what's happening around P6, P5, P6, or P8, whatever it is.
Oh, I see Duville's down on the inside. Is he? Must be something to do with position for the restart here, because he should be lined up. Go back up front. Field in the hands of Griffin. When's he going to decide to go? Right in the middle of 3 and 4. Diamond off. Back to the stripe. 3 wide on back there. I think that was Hunsinger in the middle of all of that. It was. Battle is on for second through about 6th or so here. All the way down to Blake DePinette. I heard some beating and banging getting into turn 3. You could hear it in the microphone. First 6 cards under a blanket here. 19 laps to go in this feature.
Are still in row 2.
Yes, they are. They are well.
Be row 2.
Right, they are well within striking distance of Ryan Howard and Gabe Griffin. Well within.
Hunsinger to the outside of Tegan.
3 wide with Hunsinger and Smith. Man,
no.
big contact. Wow.
More contact.
Oh, Alan Smith went for a wild ride, and that is going to bring the caution. Oh, look out. Man, it's just crazy. You know, these guys are fighting for everything, and you got to give track position to your competitors, and it's so rough because everybody's trying to gain as many positions as they can. We'll go back, take one look at this here. Into turn 3. Hunsinger, Duville, and I think that's the 31M of Matt Smith. 3 wide through 3 and 4. Smith was holding the bottom okay, but Duville was like pinching from the outside down low, and he had 2 cars below him, and that just did not end well for anybody involved. I think Trevor Doyle gets some damage running up underneath of Hunsinger there. And Alan Smith went for a wild ride as Hunsinger clipped him. Craziness back here as everybody's fighting for position. Whew. Action, action, action tonight here at Port Royal. Hope everybody watching at home is getting their money's worth tonight. Let's see what happens here in the final half of this race. Do you think Gabe Griffin can hold on? That's the question.
It's going to be tough, but I wouldn't see why not, as long as he races smart. But then again, you got Howard and the Murphy boys, Dusty Roberts. I believe you also have that 313 machine of Matt Tagan. I think anyone can win this.
Absolutely. We're going to go back green here, and don't look now. James Murphy was looking to the inside of Ryan Howard into turn 1. Thought better of it. Let him enter low. Move on back. Chris Cox to the inside of Matt Tagan for position, and the yellow flag back out here at Port Royal. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Look out, Cox. Look out, everybody. Luckily, his car is okay after that. Let's see what brought out the yellow. Potentially back here around Alan Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Alan Smith trying to ride the cushion through 1 and 2. Man, Blake dependent. Big contact. Big time contact. You know, he just didn't even know what was going on, and it was just really too late. Catches the right rear of dependent and hard into the outside wall for that 0-1 machine. Trevor Doyle nowhere to go. Gets a little more damage in that race. Chaos at the back of the field here this evening. Yeah, I know the admins want to see some green flag action. You know, they've got this with single file restarts, and they're, you know, that hopefully eliminates a lot of the craziness on the restarts. But you know, sometimes these drivers, you know, you just have a little bit of mistake, like Alan did there, exiting turn 2, and then Blake DePinette with the horrible end of the stick with the amount of contact made exiting turn 2. Pace truck ducking off. One more restart for Griffin. Diamonds off of turn 4 to the flag man with the green flag. And Griffin just didn't get really well through 1 and 2. Howard was able to close up the gap, but James Murphy's looking to the inside into turn 3, and his brother on the outside going way high. That was going to be very interesting. First 4 cars underneath a blanket here through turns 1 and 2. Got a lapper here just in front of our leaders. We'll see if that changes anything later on in the coming laps. Murphy on the outside. Is he going to get a good run out of turn 4? And he is going to get around second place Ryan Howard. Move James Murphy into second.
You know, I was going to say all 4 of them are in a blanket, but all 4 of them are all running different lines, and they go back to their different lines.
Howard looked to the inside. Murphy went way high and made a little contact with the outside wall just with the right rear. James entering really high, trying to make something happen up top. 12 laps to go.
Now there is a slow car. They're coming up on a slow car. Let's see how they handle this lap traffic.
James Murphy bangs it off the wall just a little bit. Excuse me, that was Jared that time. Gabe Griffin working the outsides. They're trying to get a little bit of a cushion between him and everybody else right behind him. No rest for the weary up here.
Gabe's doing a wonderful job of holding these boys off.
Oh, Jared really low, and they're pinching Howard. Both the brothers were there, and they made it through that. Wow. Dusty Roberts says, I want some of the high side action. He tries to get up really high, just makes a little contact with the outside wall. Jared to the inside of Ryan Howard. Lap car is in play here for our leader. Let's see what happens. That's Blake DePinette. Let's see if he plays it smart with our leaders here. Hopefully he does. Coming to 8 laps to go. Oh my goodness.
Oh, whoa. Oh no.
Oh, and he brings the yellow. Oh my! Trevor Doyle nowhere to go. What a terrible night for Trevor Doyle. He's been a part of a lot of accidents that hasn't been his fault. It looks like he was just part of one there. Let's go back and look at that. We saw it in the live shot.
It looks like Blake had a little bit of a weight transfer issue, and
That
he
was the
let the
wrong.
slide up right in front of James Murphy. And to avoid the contact, it looks like he just turned hard left,
Yeah, his car.
and he smoked it to the inside wall. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, I know more than anything wanted to stay out of the way of the leaders and didn't want to make contact with them. Brings the yellow out and just was hoping everybody was able to work around his race car. And Trevor Doyle just nowhere to go. Wow. Big impact. Man, oh man, what is going to happen in these final laps? Because the top 5 cars were all together there. All had a shot to win this feature event.
Seven to go. Let's see. Let's see what'll happen. Both Murphy vehicles have been outstanding late in the run. Let's see if they can get it to work on a quick little run here.
And they've been right there inside of the top 5 all night here. So this is their moment. See what they can do here in the closing laps. They got to get by Gabe Griffin, though. Gabe Griffin accelerates, bringing him back to green here. Howard was working the real inside part of the speedway. Looking to the inside of Jared Murphy. Nothing doing there. Gabe Griffin.
James is all over the leader.
I was going to say, I didn't see him get through 3 and 4 as well as James did. 6 to go.
James to the inside.
Big slider coming here in 3 and 4 for the race lead, James Murphy. But don't look now, the crossover. Gabe Griffin with trying a big slider of his own into 1 and 2. Not quite clear enough. Caution is out. Oh no. What an awesome battle we were having there. Let's see if we could see what happened. Looking at Chris Cox. Russell DeVille on his outside. Oh, Cox, DeVille, Hunsinger, John Stone, and Smith all got a little bit of damage on that one. Oh, Matt Smith, left front is broken on that machine. I think the same thing for Chris Cox.
Hunsinger cannot catch a break.
I know, I saw he got damage from that wreck as well. Man, but James Murphy with the big run out of turn 2, down the backstretch, and a massive slider in turn 3 to take the lead over Gabe Griffin, who was just trying the crossover out of 4 and into turn 1 and 2, trying a slider of his own. Just didn't have enough momentum to repay the favor back to James Murphy. Should hopefully get the 1 to go signal here from the flagman. And we do. Pace truck is off. Antsy moments for these drivers here in the closing laps. Who's going to get it done here at Port Royal? In the hands of James Murphy. He picks up the gas and out of turn 4, back to green. Jared Murphy trying a slider of his own for a second. Out of turn 2, still to the inside of Gabe Griffin, not quite. Another one incoming, I think, here through 3, still not quite clear enough. James Murphy is liking what he's seeing in his rearview mirror, may be able to put a gap between himself and everybody else. 3 more laps around Port Royal. What's going to happen out front? Gabe Griffin bouncing off of the outside wall, exiting turn 2. Jared Murphy
slides right up in front of him. Wow.
Oh my goodness, Dusty Roberts with a little bit of an issue there. 2 more laps to go. Murphy and Griffin in a very heated battle for second. Ryan Howard is looking to take advantage of this. Caution is out.
This is not what James wanted to see, but this is exactly what Jared wanted.
Absolutely. I think it happened back around Chris Cox once again. Let's take a look and see what happened here. Yeah, no, it happened in front of him, like I said, with Dusty Roberts. Alan Smith turned sideways. Cox had nowhere to go, and a big impact for Cox into the outside wall. I think Alan Smith's got engine damage. I saw a couple puffs of white smoke as he exited the camera shot. Wow. The Murphy brothers have made their way to positions 1 and 2 here tonight in the feature. How about this? Could they have a storybook ending to the night here at Port Royal?
You know, what's got to be going through their mind? I mean, it just... How is Jared going to attack? And if I'm James, I know I'm going to try and make that car 6 lanes wide.
Yeah. Absolutely. You know, being brothers, you know, in real life, and if I was racing my brother, I would like to battle him too, but I wouldn't want to battle him so hard that it ruins both of our nights by any means. We'll see how they choose to race each other here. Only going to have 2 laps to do it.
Pace car will be coming in right now. Let's see if Jared can match the launch that James gets.
Gabe Griffin's already kind of looking to the inside here in 3rd. Picked up the green flag. 2 laps to go. James Murphy, Jared Murphy, 1st and 2nd. Gabe Griffin in 3rd. Matt Pridgeon working the inside there against Ryan Howard for the 4th spot on track. Don't know if he'll be able to complete that. White flag is in the air for James Murphy. I don't think his brother's close enough, and neither is Gabe Griffin as they're running the outside. Everybody's trying to run the outside. Crash on back in the back. Nonetheless, Murphy through 3 and 4.
Wow, what a slide. I don't know who that was, but it was for 4th.
James Murphy and Jared Murphy, 1st and 2nd tonight. Gabe Griffin's going to bring it home in 3rd. Matt Pridgeon in 4th. I believe that was the slider that you were talking about in turns 3 and 4. Let's go back 1 second and take a quick peek at this.
What a move.
Matt Pridgeon way to the inside, had a big run through into 3, slid up in front of Ryan Howard, and was able to drag race him to the line in for the 4th place position. What a race for 4th at the line.
Just wow.
Absolutely. What a finish for 4th. But what a race in general. And the Murphy brothers bringing it home, 1 and 2. Let's real quick go through the race results for you before we get interviews with our top 3. James Murphy, Jared Murphy, 1 and 2 tonight here at Port Royal. 3rd's going to go to Gabe Griffin. Awesome run tonight. 4th is Matt Pridgeon. 5th is going to be Ryan Howard. 6th is going to be Matt Tagan. 7th, Jackson Johnstone. 8th, AJ Hunsinger. 9th, going to be Chris Cox. 10th, going to be Russell DeVille. Those are your cars on the lead lap. 11th, Alan Smith. 12th, Dusty Roberts. 13th, Matt Smith. 14th, Trevor Doyle. 15th, Blake DePinette. 16th, Daniel Ruckman. 17th, Brennan Price. 18th is going to be David Moore. 19th is going to get credited to Lee Penny, and 20th is going to be credited to Colton Gum. Without further ado, let's see if we can get a word with our 3rd place finisher, Gabe Griffin.
Hey, Gabe, it's Tim and Tyler up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
All right, Gabe. Well, come home in 3rd place tonight. Had an awesome run, ran up front most of the night, led a bunch of laps. How are you feeling about your finish?
I feel good. It was great. Good race.
Good race. If I'm not mistaken, is this your first race with STRR so far this season?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
All right, awesome. Glad to have you on board. And I know in the closing laps, the Murphy brothers were right there. What was running through your mind there?
I was trying to stay on the outside and try to get a run. I just couldn't get by them. Couldn't get the run.
I know they were working the outside. Everybody there at the end, it seemed to be working the outside to try to get any run out of the corners to make the pass on the car ahead. Tim's in the booth with me. You just talked to him a second ago. Anything you got for Gabe tonight, Tim?
Anyone you want to thank? Any sponsors?
No, I'm good.
All right, man. Well, appreciate you coming up here and talking with us after your 3rd place finish. We'll let you go back and celebrate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How about we do a double interview here? We will bring James and Jared in the booth.
All right, a double interview. I think this is a first. Let's do it.
Hey, Jared and James, it's Tim and Tyler up in the booth. You guys got a copy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, you guys. Well, how about the 1-2 finish tonight? What do you got to say?
We got 1st and 3rd last week, so we improved a little bit and got 1st and 2nd tonight.
Absolutely. I tell you what, this race was a ton of fun to watch, and you guys were running up front all night and just put together the right moves in the closing laps there, running the outside. We really enjoyed watching.
Yeah, we raced here in the other league here before, and I won that race too, but I knew I needed to save tires to the end right there, and had to get up top and make some moves at the end.
Absolutely. I didn't know, you guys being brothers, how you were going to race each other there. Jared, what was running through your mind in the closing laps?
I just wanted to make to the finish. That race took forever.
Yeah, we did get quite a few cautions there. It didn't help anything out, but man, when there was green flag racing, there was action everywhere. I know Tim and I were scanning the track any chance we got looking for battles, and they were everywhere to be found for sure.
Yeah, this track is really racy. It's, one of the more difficult tracks to race with these setups, but it's very racy if you get a good track prep.
Awesome. Tim, you got anything for the two brothers?
Man, you guys were just class of the field all night inside the top 5. You guys want to thank anyone or anything like that?
Yeah, I'd like to thank y'all. Y'all do a good job calling the races. I like the League of Outlaws. They put in a lot of work on this whole setup and everything. And short track race, rivals racing, putting the show on.
All right, fellas. Again, congratulations on improving this week to a 1-2 finish. Was a ton of fun watching you. Have fun. Go celebrate this.
Thank you. You too.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, that was James and Jared Murphy, your first and second place finishers here tonight at Port Royal. Well, Tim, as we are wrapping up this thing, what a race. What a race tonight.
41 laps of just pure excitement.
Absolutely.
Now, I know I might not sound like I'm excited, but I am lost for words with the amount of just pure racing that we had today.
I know. I mean, everywhere we looked under the green flag, there was always a battle going on. It was a ton of fun to call. I hope everybody that's watching really enjoyed tonight. We sure did. We appreciate you watching here on the Buckeye Racing Network. And for Tim Henderson and Tyler Bentley, we're going to be signing off tonight. Again, everybody, thanks for watching.